Ang video na to ay handog ni cdkoffers.com. Marami kang mahahanap na iba't ibang uri ng software dito. May games, apps, activation codes for Windows 10. Check out our video on CDK Offers in the video description. Mabilis, mura, and syempre legit dito. Madali lang mag-order, search for the software you need, add to cart, check out, daan ka sa payment options nila. Wala pa isang minuto, finished. May legit working CDK ka na sa software na pinili mo. Gamitin ang aming promo code para makakuha pa ng extra 20% discount sa purchase mo. Kung naghahanap ka ng mura, legit, and original software, check out cdkoffers.com.
Alright, what's up internet? Thanks for joining us today on another episode of In the Industry, and we're very happy to have for our guest tonight, Anton from Fixee.ph, who is joining us. Yeah, and he's gonna talk about just give us a brief run through like what Fixee does.
Okay, so Fixee.ph is a repair business. So we specialize in controllers and desktop computers, but we can fix almost anything under the sun. So just send us a message on our page, and we can try to take a look at it. Our aim is to provide quality and professional repair service by maintaining the trust of our customers. So yeah, that's us. Fixee.ph, service you can trust.
How long have you guys been? How long has Fixee been around?
Well, actually, Fixee has been around since 2020. Actually, we rebranded during that time. We actually started out.
What were you guys?
Yeah,
before?
we started. Yeah, we started out as gamer medics. More of on the controller side. So we noticed that since we're mostly college students, we saw that a lot of people had trouble with their gaming controllers. The mostly fighting game players or console gamers, they had drifting and unresponsive buttons, but they didn't want to spend a large amount on getting a new controller. So we thought, okay, maybe we can provide the service of repairing the controllers to them, because our members, our founding members, were very experienced in that field, because it was sort of their hobby that they started before, and then it kind of grew into what it is now, which is Fixee.
So the genesis was controller, any kind of console controller. So the stock PS4 controllers, and then the fighting, the joystick type.
Mostly like Xbox, PS4, PS3, Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers. That's where we started. But then we branched out into servicing the console itself, so the PS.
Then I'll just upload the entire thing later on. So hopefully the stream smooths out. But anyway, we have a backup. I just started recording.
Hear it would sound like a jet engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people didn't like that, and they noticed that their PS4 would be slowing down. So we thought we'd tackle that by replacing, kind of servicing those consoles.
Yeah.
So whether it be upgrading the PS4 to an SSD, because that really helps with load times, or to cleaning the fans just altogether so it would be performing nice and quiet. We thought, okay, let's offer that to our customers, our clients.
We actually do have one or two customers, hardware sugar, na they would buy an SSD specifically to replace the SSD of their.
A lightning struck and then the brownout sila. Then their PS4 would stop working. We'd get problems like that, so we'd have to replace the PS4 entirely there.
So
the PSU, sorry, PSU of the PS4.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna say na, so there are problems na you encounter na hindi talaga kaya, like the unit is bricked or something. But in that case, it was just the power supply, kaya naman.
Yeah, but we've encountered like motherboard problems. Those we can't really fix at the moment, because that requires in-depth motherboard repair that we're not comfortable doing.
Yeah. Sige, so you mentioned like most of the founders were college students, and I know we were talking before na most of your team are also still in school, di ba? Parang sabi mo, exam week, hell week this week. So how many are you guys? Like how many guys do you have repairing or on staff or part of Fixee?
So our founding team has four main members. So we have our me, then two other technicians, then our marketing and media sort of head. Then under that, we have two interns that work for us for doing other tasks. So like whether it be Fixee TV, our YouTube channel, or helping trying to grow our social media, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. But so far it's just us. I'd say 6, sometimes 7, depending on who's willing to
Pitch
join
in
in
or
with the
ano.
time. Yeah.
Oh. So who does the dirty work, like the actual technical repair and stuff? I assume it's you and then some of the other.
Well, at the moment, we have a console repair technician who is uh Pong. He's not with us right now, but like he's the one who handles most of the console repairs. So that's the controllers, uh the consoles, and then I'm the one who handles the laptops and desktops. While we have another one who handles our phone and mobile repair.
So it's like kanya-kanya specialty. So
Yeah,
you handle PC.
we have our own specialties, but if need be, given the location of our clients, we try to shift around depending, because like if it's a problem that I can fix because we've been taught by our partners,
Yeah.
because we kind of share what we know with each other. If we can handle it, we'll handle it if they're close to our proximity to save on cost for the client as well.
How does that work usually? The client goes to you or you go to the client? Parang home service ba yan? Or...
Because of the whole situation right now, we don't like going
Yeah.
out and doing home for service.
Yeah.
But
Oo.
we'd like to do that in the future.
Mm.
But at the moment, they'll have to send their devices to us. Usually, we actually have our own pickup service. So if you schedule ahead of time, we can schedule the pickup service for you, and they'll get the items. But if you want it done, usually within 1 or 2 days, you can send it to us via Grab, Lalamove, all the other courier services, or even drop it off to our respective technicians.
How's it like been gaining traction? Like getting people to trust you? Kasi, I mean, that's a PS4, that's a controller, that's a PC.
Yeah,
I think these are quite pricey items. How's it been like to get people, yun nga, kumbaga the buy-in na, okay, we're a legit service, you just send it to us. I mean, kumbaga, nakakatakot na, let's say I have a PS4 and I send it via Grab to somebody na I don't know, di ba? Na parang, repair technician daw siya, pero malay ko ba, di ba? So how's that been like convincing people na, no, we're on the up and up?
What really helps actually are Facebook reviews, because once we've done a successful repair or one of our clients is happy with what we do, we ask them to leave a review, because it really helps whenever we're trying to market ourselves through Facebook, Instagram. People just go to our page and are like, okay, these people are legit because of the amount of reviews. 2, what we do is we kind of document everything. So if you're with us in the process, like for example, you send it to us, but you're still kind of hesitant because like you sent your PS4 to us. We try to document the entire repair process from start to finish, receiving it, during repairs. That's what we do. So that's why we really want to say service you can trust, because we want to be as transparent as possible and not cheap out on any parts or any sources of labor. Yeah.
That's also the fear of some people, di ba, na parang I'll send you my PC, for example, pero babalik sa akin parang substandard na yung sa loob, but I'm not technical enough to know kung nadaya ako or if you guys cheated me or something. So there's always that, because of the information disparity or knowledge, parang there's anxiety on the part of the customer na yun nga, how can I trust these guys nga? But you're tackling that by trying to be transparent and open about everything. Yun.
And
go ahead.
Just to add also, it also helps that we have our own in-house pickup service, because even if sometimes the fee is a bit more expensive or it might take a bit longer, people are more willing to give it to someone that's within the business rather than some third-party courier.
The stream seems to be doing well now. Parang I think I turned off my Windows firewall kasi. So if anybody's watching and wants to hack my IP address, please don't, kasi my firewalls are down. But it seems to have done it. The stream is up. And I bring it up lang kasi we have 2 questions, but you tackled them already. It must have been when we were offline. But ITX Addict is asking, What inspired you to start fixing? And Grant Soriano is asking, do you source the replacement parts as well? So if you could just sort of cover that again. I guess we were offline when we were talking
Okay.
about that.
Okay. What inspired us to start fixing was mostly we were since we're most of us were engineering students, we kind of had experience in tinkering and fiddling around with our electronics, with our computers, with our consoles. So it became sort of second nature to us, like how a car guy knows his car or like a computer guy knows his computer. It's sort of that way for us. So we were able to sort of learn, and we wanted to help other people as well because some people wanted to get their controllers fixed but didn't have the technical ability to do so. So we want to be there for those people that aren't able to fix it themselves. As for the replacement parts, yes, we do source replacement parts, but it it depends on the part because sometimes if it's a motherboard, that's very difficult for us to source because it's basically like buying a new uh, PS4 or a new Xbox if that's the case. But depending on the part, let's say it's a power supply or uh, let's say controller part, we might be able to work out something. So if any of the people on the stream have any questions about uh, PC parts, feel free to message our page fixie.ph.
And you mentioned that you were all engineering students. I think in LaSalle, right? If I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the research correctly. And then you were also part of the the contest or the competition for the electric car. Tama ba? The Shell.
Yes, I was part of the team for 1 year. Yes.
How was that like? I've always been curious na you have to design the car from the ground up, and then it has to basically the one that can go
Yes.
the longest wins that year.
There are different categories actually. So usually you have to pass all the inspection tests before you're actually able to get out on track.
To make sure
So
you didn't stick a internal combustion engine in there or something.
yeah. So that's actually the hardest part because imagine shipping a whole car from the Philippines to wherever it needs to be uh, uh to be to be raced, and then something in the engine could get moved or something in the auxiliary system could get moved. It's very hectic. So the team's actually very large. So like they're everyone's working nonstop day and night actually to just get
Ah,
the car done and to make it as efficient and as light as possible. So that whole experience was interesting, but at the same time very hectic because everyone's like it's crunch time because
stress talaga.
we're representing
Yeah.
the Philippines for the
We need to get this thing out of here, and we need to make sure all the
yeah
batteries are
meeting
tied in.
deadlines,
Yeah.
making sure everything works.
Uh,
But yeah,
who drives the car? Like if it's shipped out, let's say Japan, yung proving ground or something where you have to drive the car. Who like do you guys choose or the lightest? Do you just send the lightest guy para mas efficient sa
usually it's the lightest person, but it depends on the team because some teams they have a designated driver. So like these people are the ones that know how to go kart. They're the ones who know how to race on the track. So they're the ones that they ask to be in the car. But if no one has that experience, usually it's the lightest person that they say, okay, drive the car.
yeah, medyo by default. Okay, you're the lightest.
Yeah.
Ikaw na. You get the nod.
Yeah.
This engineering, but parang more ECE. Is it more ECE stuff? Parang electrical engineering or
With the car?
in general, like your group. Most of you guys
Oh,
are ECE or engineering talaga.
it's widespread because personally I graduated mechanical engineering.
Ah,
So it's kind of far from like computers and electronics.
yeah.
But most of my partners are studying computer engineering and computer science. So that's a majority of the group.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And then so when they graduate, is it like we've talked about off stream that you want to grow the business and make it established
Yeah.
and as the go-to source for repairs. So the plan is when your co-founders graduate na kumbaga todo with Fixie full steam ahead na growing the business and expanding it and making it more well known.
Yeah. Hopefully that's what we'd like to do. We'd really like to make sure that Fixie elevates kind of the repair status in the Philippines because we don't want to just be the only one for repair, but we want to influence other people to practice good repair
Yeah.
practices. because obviously we can't take our business can't take all the repairs, but we'd like to influence other people that to be transparent, to be honest with the repairs, and to offer fair pricing for quality service. That's kind of our goal.
Do you see yourselves na your natural competitor are the guys in Greenhills? I mean, you know that alley or that hallway sa Greenhills na puro lahat cellphone
Yeah, yeah.
repair, tablet repair. Are those guys your natural competitors, or do you feel na you're offering a different kind of service compared? They're both repair, but yun nga, do you think na those are the guys that you're gunning for in a way to the market share that you're trying to reach, the people who visit those kind of repair shops or repair guys?
Well, we'd consider them as competitors because a majority of customers go to them first for an opinion
Mm-hmm.
because it's embedded in our culture
Yeah,
na if we
yeah.
need to get something fixed, we go to Green
Yeah,
Hills.
di ba? Yeah, parang
But
top of mind eh, Green Hills.
yeah, oh, my laptop broke.
Yeah.
Punta ako sa Green Hills.
Yeah.
Let's say I fixed.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to get their market. We're trying to get the individual that doesn't have the time to go out and get it fixed with someone that they don't really trust. They're the ones that are willing to pay a certain fee to make sure that okay, my device is safe,
Yeah.
my data is safe,
Yeah.
and we can give it to these people, and they'll handle it, and we'll get it back on
Yeah.
time, fixed properly.
Yeah. Yung data safe is super important. I mean, I think when something's broken, it's automatically like a hardware issue. But a lot of people forget that it's also a software issue because your device has
Yeah.
so much of you on it. Your contacts, your personal info like your birthday, your email. I mean, basically, it's logged into your email account already, so they can check your email. That's really what I find scary about bringing something to a technician na I don't know. It's really more about the data. Like, you have a phone, and then best practice is na you get something done, you wipe the phone first before you give it to somebody. But what if it broke before you could wipe it, diba? So, if
Yeah.
he does get it going again, makikita niya lahat ng data mo. So, I think that is an underrated concern. Like, a lot of people don't think about
Yeah.
it. Pero, I mean, your banking apps are there, your emails there, diba? Parang,
Yeah.
some people have a list of passwords that they keep on their phone kasi,
Yeah.
yun nga, for convenience. So, I mean, I was, it's good that you touched on that na hindi lang siya hardware but also software component
Yeah.
or the privacy aspect of your data.
Yeah. What we'd like to do with Fixie is that we assure the customer that we won't touch any data unless
Yeah.
needed.
Mhm.
For example, their computer dies for some reason, or they don't want to push through with the repair because it would be expensive. Let's say a laptop motherboard broke.
Yeah.
It's going to be pricey. Would you like us to recover data?
Mhm.
We'll assure you that we won't touch anything inside unless you ask us to. That's always what we say, especially when we put that out there.
Yeah.
That would you like us to recover it? To assure our customers that we won't view any data at all
Yeah.
unless
Unless you have
I
the
want to share
consent.
actually something like one of the clients we got. It's an unfortunate case, but they had their laptop I think serviced with us,
Okay.
but unfortunately that person that got their laptop serviced with us had a close friend pass away. So during that time they sent us a message saying they couldn't pick up the laptop yet, but they needed the files on the laptop specifically. So what we did there was we screen shared the laptop
Wow.
and we
Okay.
told them to tell us to which
Yeah,
particular
folder.
file they needed.
Yeah.
Folder.
Oh.
And then we'd access that and then send it to them via Google Drive. In those
Okay.
cases, that's what we're willing to do because we don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
going through folders of people because
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows what's gonna be in there,
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
information.
Yeah. Things they downloaded from the net.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
mahirap na. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a roughly analogous experience. One of our one of our previous customers in Hardware Sugar before, it was a mom who was contacting us, and but the user of the computer was her daughter, and then the daughter couldn't remember where it's like a dog ate my homework situation. Parang she needed specific files na di niya maalala where, and hindi rin siya ganun ka-techy. So we had to send our guy over. I mean, because the mom was very insistent. So we had to actually send our guy over just to help the customer basically open Windows Explorer and look through the file structure to find the files na And yun nga, at the same time, you're for techies, it's kind of like, oh, a stranger going through the data, parang that's kind of iffy and stuff. But for
Yeah.
a lot of people, they don't think about it, and they're just like, I don't care, just go through it, and
Yeah.
then help me find the files. And at the same time, ang hirap, diba? Kasi if you're not, it's
Yeah.
not your computer, you didn't save it in the way that you usually save it. Ang hirap maghanap, like, it's like a needle in a haystack na, saan ba tong file na to, diba? Parang,
Yeah.
so I can just imagine, some of the data stuff na you could be
Yeah.
going through if you guys weren't more conscientious about it. Grant
Yeah.
Soriano from Facebook asks, what's the most common product that gets serviced? And what's the rarest one that you guys have done?
Rarest? I can't. I'd say the rarest would be actually Xbox related things, because we get quite a few Macs, we get quite a few laptops, quite a lot of PS4 controllers, a lot of PS4 consoles, a lot of PCs, but you hardly hear about Xbox. So
Is that because konti lang Xbox sa atin, or is that because it's sturdier in general? Like they don't break down as much
I
compared
think
to the PS4?
it's the market of Xbox, because the Xbox users use it only for Xbox. But I noticed the PS4 controller, the DS4 is the go-to for people playing on PC. Let's say I want to play Tekken on my PC or Monster Hunter, all those
Yeah.
games. You have a controller, and it's most likely a PS4
The
controller.
PS4 controller, yeah.
Yeah. And for the most common device that we get serviced, it's either PS4 consoles or PS4 controllers, I have to say. That's the one that we get a lot of it in, aside from PCs, if ever, PCs.
And the PS4 controller, the console, it's more like cleaning usually. Is cleaning just usually the problem?
I'd say 80% of the time, people ask for it to be clean.
Clean. And then replacement
Yeah.
na rin nung thermal paste.
Yep.
Ah.
We actually are working on releasing a line of thermal paste. So like we have one right here.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
Fixee
okay.
Fixie paste.
Nice, branded.
Soon.
Okay.
Soon, hopefully, quality thermal paste. We'll send some to you in case for testing.
That's great. Oh, we'd love to. We keep having to replace the thermal paste on our test bench because we keep removing
Yeah,
the
you
CPU.
keep-
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I wanted to try thermal pads. Then we do have some in the shop, but parang they came out weird. I don't know if I trust those. Pero thermal grizzly naman. So they should be good.
Yeah,
diba?
those are the
Yeah, the reusable ones.
That-
So they look like felt lang, like they're like that
Yeah,
square.
yeah.
We opened one.
maybe no wait. Have you tried using the liquid metal?
No. You know we have it in stock, but I'm begging customers, please can you just you want to repaste? Can you just use the liquid metal para we can try it out? Pero nobody's been yet eh. Nobody's been brave enough yet na. Tapos may disclaimer pa na it can't be used on aluminum or something, but it
Yeah.
doesn't work
Yeah.
well with a certain metal.
Yeah, it has to be copper.
It has to be copper.
If it's not copper,
yeah, it
it's
stains
gonna-
it or it corrodes it or something. So,
Yeah.
Once they get that disclaimer, parang people get afraid and it's not thermal paste, it's liquid metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So short answer, we haven't, but I really want to. So I'm hoping somebody will soon. Because people complain actually about heat all the time. Na, my CPU is running too hot or my GPU is running
Yeah.
too hot. Ano kaya yung problema? So one of these days I'm gonna catch somebody and I'm gonna be like, no, you want it to run cool? Ito gamitin natin for sure.
Yeah.
Ito liquid metal.
And a lot temperatures are really dependent on the environment.
Yeah, on the
If your
ambient.
PC,
Yeah.
yeah, if your PC doesn't have good airflow,
Yeah.
most likely it's not going to be running cool.
Yeah.
But
and
yes,
a lot of people are used to running in an aircon environment, and then other people are not, and then so they're so confused
Yeah.
when they see the numbers of the guys na usually in the aircon na ba't nababa
Yeah.
yung cool numbers niya, sa akin ang taas, parang ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
Or some just don't are not familiar with the concept na you need to get it at load. Parang they're just in general,
Yeah.
they're like mataas yung temps ko. But then we were like, when? Is it
Oh,
idle?
yeah.
Is it on load? I mean, how
Yeah.
long has it been going? So people are obsessed with temperatures, but parang kulang sa record keeping. When does it get
Yeah.
hot?
we've gotten customers also saying like, "Oh no, Anton, my temperatures are so high." But oh, how hot, how hot?
How high?
And then they'll say, "Oh, it's 70 degrees when I'm playing a game."
Yeah.
And in my head, it's like, wow, that's so
Yeah, yeah.
that's actually pretty good.
That's chill, diba? Yeah, relax
Yeah,
lang.
that's pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, especially kung stock cooler lang, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. I mean,
They're
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, they think that anything above 50 degrees is something to be scared of. But what they don't know is old the older PC generations, especially laptop gamers, they're running their laptops at close to 100 degrees
For
every single
hours.
time.
Yeah, di ba? Hindi
Yeah,
lang yan for
yeah.
like a minute, 2 minutes. I mean, if you're gaming on a laptop, talagang todo-todo yan na, ano, di ba? I mean, the temps
Oh.
rise. And it's not the fault of the laptop. It's really the nature of the format na, you know, it's smaller, it's more compact, there's less space for the air to be vented.
Yeah.
So, yeah, di ba? Then, and, you know, the chips naman aren't, they're not sensitive, okay? I mean, they're rated to run at a certain temperature. So,
Yeah.
you know, they won't get cooked if you run them at 80, 85, parang ano.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Earl. Earl Deza from YouTube. Thanks for sending over some cash. Thank you. Sorry, let me just go through the chat briefly. ITX Addict says na medyo sketchy nga yung guys sa Greenhills. I kind of agree. That's why
Yeah.
my wife wanted to get her cell phone service, but I'm like, really? You know, that's all of your stuff. So in the end, we never got it serviced kasi nga takot kami sa,
Yeah.
you know, the possibility of somebody getting the phone numbers or things like that. Or
Yeah.
maklone, di ba? Like maklone pa yung phone.
Yeah,
and,
that's-
ano.
That's actually pretty common. Like some people that you don't realize it that your phone has been someone has a copy of your data
Diba?
somewhere.
Yeah, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang, do you think it's common here? Like, have you come across any na sa atin?
Well, personally, I haven't because going around we kind of fix our own devices, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've heard so many horror stories with repair shops and like in Greenhills and other places. The service isn't what we want it to be because there are a lot of skilled technicians out there. It's just that it's more of the way presenting what you find and delivering the service. It's not necessarily they're bad technicians. It's mostly
Yeah.
they don't know how to present
Yeah.
to the customers and they don't know how to be transparent.
Yeah. And to be fair kasi, there's a technical side and there's a communication side, diba? They might be good nga
Yeah.
with the technicals, but yung, if they're not talkative also, it's not their fault, but then the customer thinks na he's trying to hide something or but di ba niya ako sinasagot na okay na ba to?
Yeah.
Chess Me from YouTube says Anton talks to himself. That's a good one. Di ko naisip yun for this interview. Although, yes, we do have two Antons for this particular episode. Gentleman Parrot from YouTube chat says, hey, what's up, Gentleman Parrot? Thanks so much for answering a lot of questions on our Pwede Magtanong forum, the link of which is up there in the header. Gentleman Parrot is very active in our PM forum. Grant from Facebook says na for his test bench, he uses an NTH2, the Noctua thermal paste. And not even the NTH1, it's the NTH2.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's curious to see how the Fixee thermal paste would perform against that. Although, I mean, to be honest, it's hard to beat Noctua.
Yeah.
Performance.
To be fair, like our thermal paste, we're not positioning it to beat the thermal grizzlies.
Yeah.
The top of the line paste. We're planning to market it as an affordable thermal paste for people that are just on a budget. Who don't want to spend so much money just to like put one slab of thermal paste on their CPU that they're gonna change 1 year later.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't make sense because how much is a thermal grizzly thermal paste? It's expensive, right? Like
It
300 plus
I know. I
or
think,
more.
Actually, we're selling the NTH1 quite cheap at 325, but some shops I've seen it for 100 plus, and that's the NTH1.
Wow, that's
the thermal grizzly.
yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah. The thermal grizzly mas lalo pa, the cryonaut or the conductonaut. I forget which one is their mas mahal pa. Yeah. So that's true. I mean, you use that a little bit of that tube for like, diba? And then you don't really need it anymore. So as long as it gets the job done, diba? Parang okay na yun. Yeah. Sorry, there's just a lot of people asking about like tech stuff. Usually kasi we have another show called Pwede Magtanong where like we answer the tech questions. But
Oh, that's interesting.
usually we're a panel of 4 and then we get questions from like the forums and like people message us on Facebook and things like that. Although for the other shows when people ask us, I just refer them to the link above na please post it dun sa
Okay.
pm.hardwaresugar.ph so that we can take a look at it kasi we don't actually usually have a very technical person. Sometimes they're gamers na they game but they don't really know what's going
Okay.
on. Yeah, so parang although I'm sure I could toss you these questions and you could answer them.
Sure, why
no
not?
problem.
Let's get one or two. I'm curious on how your
Sige.
viewership.
Well, Luigi Galiogo from YouTube asks, question po, yung id cooling HA02 na ARGB hub, compatible ba yun sa Cooler Master ARGB fans?
Well, most of the time, well, from my experience, ARGB hubs, they're mostly interchangeable. Like the whole point was so you can sync all your fans or all your ARGB software together. Like recently we've done a build where we had an MSI ARGB controller, but we used dark flash fans as well as I think Gamax fans, and it all worked perfectly fine. So as long as
they worked, it worked out?
Yeah, they worked. So we were. It's just that the controller was very limited.
Yeah.
But overall, we were still able to sync all the fans. So I guess it depends on the plug. You have to make sure that it's not the gigabyte proprietary plug, the one with the 3 consecutive.
Yeah.
Where some I don't have one on hand, but like there's a plug that's consecutive 1, 2, 3. But usually it's 1, 2, and there's a space, then another pin.
Yeah.
So that's usually the case.
For the 3-pin 5-volt ARGB, no? Yung ano.
Yeah. Most of the time it's compatible, but it's very seldom. It doesn't work together. From based on experience, but I can't be so sure with that exact configuration.
Yeah. Actually, yun din yung sakit. That's a big headache for us na, thank you, ITX Addict. He sent over $100 through Super Chat. That's a big headache also for us in the shop, like getting all of the RGB to sync. Like, somebody gets Corsair, then NZXT, and then dagdag mo pa yung Deep Cool on AIO. So it's really a big headache to get everything synced. Actually, I was surprised that the dark flash worked. Kasi parang I have the id cooling and the dark flash, and some of the other stuff they use like a 6-pin, and like what do you do with a 6-pin? Parang you need their proprietary thing or something.
What we do is you need a separate hub for it.
For
so you
guys.
have your so let's say you have your dark flash pack. Usually it comes with one hub. You connect the hub to the hub of the ID cooling hub.
Okay.
So that's the only way it's gonna work.
So
it's
like
not
the 6-pin guys, the 6-pin hubs will connect to the standard hub, parang ganon.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna work, because it won't work if you directly connect it. You'll have to go through one hub, and then use that ARGB connection to another one.
Grabe, sobrang sakit sa ulo. And yet it's very popular. RGB is like, RGB is life, diba?
No.
So
Even the software, the software experiences, it's such a, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And yet dun sa sites, compatible with Asus AuraSync or MSI Mystic Light, diba? But when you actually have it, you're like, the RAM's not syncing with the fans, and you don't know bakit exactly.
You can detect it in the software.
What
why
is
isn't
going
showing
on?
up?
Well, just from our shop experience, we actually had a super long time customer. He's still a very good customer now. In fact, he's coming in tomorrow. But when we first sold the mystery, it was an all NZXT. But the problem was the cam software kept crashing, and it was a bit of a source of headache for us. Kasi if it's software, there's not really a lot the shop can do, diba? Kasi we're usually hardware. We didn't code the thing. We didn't, test it in different configurations. So ang hirap kung software issue. Which is another thing. I don't know if you guys get that a lot. Na sometimes it's a software issue, but people are like, the part's defective, and I want to return it, or things like that. And then it puts the shop in a really difficult position kasi, we warrant the hardware. If there's something physically wrong with the hardware, we'll replace it, no BS warranty. But at the same time, kung software, ang hirap to, the game's crashing. We tried the stress tests, we ran it 2 hours with firmware or something, and it didn't break. So now it's a software thing, but for the non-technical guys, it's quite difficult to separate software from hardware. Basta bottom line, my thing's not working properly, diba? So it's a big...
Yeah.
Do you also get that na people complain, but when you take a look, okay naman pala yung hardware?
Yeah, it actually happens quite a bit. But what we always recommend, especially if the computer's crashing or whatever, we make sure we ask them, okay, back up all your files, and then we'll do a fresh reformat. So that removes any software compatibility issues.
Yeah.
So if the crashing comes from there, if it doesn't crash in our stress tests, and we even launch the game, because we'll only install the game.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, they want to play Apex Legends.
Yeah.
We just install Apex Legends and we play it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't crash there, then we'll say, okay, it's not the hardware, it was just the software. Needed to reformat.
Something, the driver
Most of the time, that's
or
what we do.
ano.
Yeah.
And usually okay naman, like usually it works out.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the time it works out. But usually if it is a hardware problem, you're able to detect it right away.
Yeah, how do you aside from the usual stuff like I mean, we're very big on being methodical na testing one part at a time because basically you're trying to isolate the problem. But what if you do isolate the problem? Let's say it's the GPU, and then how do you test the GPU? I think somebody else also asked that. Actually, ITX Addict asked, have you ever repaired a GPU? So yeah, how do you test the GPU, and then how do you repair it later on? Like when you do find a defect with the graphics card.
Okay, so if it is the graphics card, to confirm it, we always put it in a different system. Because if it's working on one system, we want to make sure that it's not working on another. So that's a way to eliminate the possibility. But if it's defective in both cases, we'll try our best to do what we can without having to resort to board level repair, which involves reheating the board or resoldering any points, checking for any corrosion. We're not comfortable with our ability to do that yet. So we're not offering it as a service because we want to refine that whole process before we offer it to our clients.
Yeah, before you touch other people's stuff, diba?
Yeah, we want to make sure that, okay, we're confident in our ability, so we'll offer it. But most of the time, we can confirm that it's a hardware issue, like it crashes when you run any graphics load on different computers, then we just inform the client and say, we did what we could, but like this is, the graphics card is faulty at the moment.
And that's
so,
really...
Yeah, for our service, that's all we do. But then if it's like a personal graphics card, I'm not partial to like putting it in the toaster oven or the oven to see if it's gonna work because sayang lang naman eh. It's a graphics card.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that? So might as well try.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But that's for your personal stuff. You're willing to dare a bit more, be a bit more.
With my personal stuff.
Yeah, be a bit more
it's
aggressive.
good. It's good learning experiences. Like bent motherboard pins. If we get stuff like that, if it's our personal stuff, we're willing to like at the start because we actually repair those kinds of stuff. Like if it's bent pins or whatever, we can, as long as it's not super bad, we can try to fix that. But that's how we learned actually, because like I dropped my CPU before a Ryzen CPU, and that we had to make sure, okay,
each pin
each pin has to be. It's a lot easier with Ryzen than with Intel. Yeah, much easier actually. Because you can use the motherboard.
Yeah,
you can use the motherboard to fix it.
Yeah, you kind of like just kind of need to align, diba? And then sort of they'll because of the form, they'll just kind of stick into
Yeah.
It'll write out the pins kung on a Ryzen.
Yeah.
For the Ryzen.
Yeah. That's why AMD fanboys. Let's go.
Hindi naman sadya yung like you didn't drop it on purpose like I want to see if I can
No.
fix it. Yeah, no, it's like
it was more of okay, I'm upgrading my current processor and then like I put in my current one. Buti na lang it was the old one that I wasn't gonna use anymore that I dropped.
That dropped, okay.
Yes, so I was able to fix that.
And she's parang and it was good learning experience. Yeah, learn by doing, diba?
Yeah,
parang
of course.
Yeah. So what do you repair all parts in the? I mean, you mentioned like the GPU wise. If it's like a board issue, you don't touch that. But is there like like for the power supply? Would you you guys are comfortable going in there and replacing a capacitor, let's say, or if something blew out. I forget the technical term, but there's a fuse kasi usually in the PSU and
Yeah, that breaks first. Yes, yeah,
yes, that's
usually.
supposed to trip. Yeah. I just forget what they
Yeah.
the viral.
Most modern PSUs actually have that. They have that. If it's a well-rated PSU, it has it.
That
But
part.
what we
Yeah.
but what we suggest is because some PSU manufacturers have such long warranty, like Seasonic has 10-year warranty.
Yeah.
We prefer that these people send it to them because we don't want to break it and we can't if we can't fix it. It's better to send it to someone to the manufacturer because they can guarantee it. Because we can't guarantee it if we fix it once we open it.
Yeah.
It's also very dangerous when you open a PSU.
Yeah.
Even for someone that knows what they're doing. If one misstep, like for example, one screw falls because the wind blows or whatever, you can die.
On a live circuit or something, you know. Parang,
Yeah.
I know, that's why parang I was thinking, like, do you monkey around with the power, with electricity talaga? Kasi yun nga, medyo delikado na or ano.
I mean, we haven't yet because I like personally I'm very scared too because if I touch something that's out of place or something wrong happens, especially with an open PSU, it's dangerous. It can cause a house fire. Yeah, it's not worth the scientific curiosity.
Yeah. Let's open this thing up and let's see if we can get the 700 watts to to get going, to start flowing, diba? Para, I mean, because they're dami mga high capacity PSUs ngayon, diba? 1,000 watts or something. Isipin mo that can power a small aircon and you're gonna open it up and monkey around with it. Parang medyo dicey.
Yeah.
Is there any part na you wanted to work on, or any part or any console or any component that you wanted to work on but you haven't yet? It just hasn't come in.
A PS5.
Okay.
We've been trying to get a PS5 for a decent price.
Yeah.
And the scalpers are all over. And I'm pretty sure your viewers know that if they're into the whole scene. We've been trying to get a PS5 for SRP.
Yes,
we even queued up at stores like Data Blitz and like Sony, but we weren't able to get an allocation, and it's still kind of out of stock in different places. So we want to work on a PS5 because we know that's the next gen console.
Yes,
and the PS5 controller, that's the one that we're kind of interested in because it has so much new tech in it. Like the triggers are built in such a way that they can react depending on the game. I think they're called like a variable potentiometers or something, where you can when your gun trigger feels different each time you press it, depending on the gun. So
it's an evolved,
at that level.
It's an evolved tactile feedback or force feedback.
The PS5 comes with a game that actually lets you experience the feedback of the controller. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a small robot. Like you can use it to experience all the features. So if I were to get a controller for my gaming PC, I'd still consider getting a PS5 controller, but it's expensive at the moment. So parang not yet.
Not possible.
But if given the opportunity, we'd love to do a teardown video or a teardown tutorial for a PS5 or even a repair of one that's broken.
So if you got the PS5 at SRP, you'd open it up.
We'd void the warranty immediately.
No question.
No questions asked though. Dive in. Our console technician is very excited. Like once we get one, he just like opens it up. Doesn't even plug it in.
You guys are gonna do a Mateo on that thing, pero hindi lang unboxing. Talagang open.
Yung buong console na.
Buong console na. Just go nuts. Okay. ITX Addict is asking in the chat. He noticed the 3080 box behind me. Yes, Asus has been generous enough to keep lending it to me. They haven't asked for it yet. I'm hoping none of them are watching. Baka maalala nila and it's still with me. But so I've been super enjoying the. Asus was kind enough to lend us the 3080, and I've been using it. I know it's crazy. And again, I have a super old PC, and then But I just stuck kumbaga, yung 3080 yung nagdadala ng buong rig ko. Siya yung nagbabangko nung the entire system because it's so old. But I've been able to run.
What specs are you running now? I'm just curious.
i5 for 690K, 16GB RAM. So it's really like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old PC.
But it's still respectable. I mean, in its day, it was a good PC.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
when I got it,
great
it was
PC.
yeah. It was good, but it's kind of getting long in the tooth now, so I wouldn't have been able to. I had my graphics cards were RX 470s and crossfire, or 480s I think, but crossfire.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but the 3080 just blows everything out of the water, and it bottlenecks at the CPU, but I don't care because parang it's like I'm just enjoying the experience. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
IDX Addict. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had the chance to actually benchmark and test the 3080, and all the monitors we have in our area are just 1080p.
Yeah.
So I think I reached there was one point it hit 1000 FPS, first time in my life to see on Valorant 1000 FPS. It wasn't steady 1000, but it peaked at 1000.
It was like
I was like. No one needs that, but why? Wow.
Past 500 FPS, my eyes just don't know the difference anymore. Apparently it's just like it's just,
I mean, even at 144 FPS, I don't notice the difference.
If it's anything beyond that, parang it's just it's crazy now. What you can do with some of the. And this isn't even. I mean, it's advanced hardware, but it's not like something super rare or something. I mean, it's consumer grade, kumbaga, di ba? And yet, kaya na niyang,
Well, consumer grade, but like worth how much?
A kidney at least, I think is the going rate for one of these things.
Crazy. Like you can buy a whole PC for what that graphics card.
Yeah.
Like a good 1080p gaming PC for that graphics card.
Actually, they weren't so bad. Like in December, November, when they first started coming out, they were around maybe 40, 45. But now with different reasons for the price increases, now we have in stock na Zotac, but it's like 69,000 or something for a 3080.
Yeah, it's not.
So yun nga. I mean, that's a whole rig na, and a very decent rig at that. Hindi lang yung pipitsugin na rig. So
you can get a monitor and keyboard and mouse and like a whole
everything monitor na. Any monitor.
Everything already.
Yeah. Actually, I was talking just very recently to a guy who works at ASUS, and then he was like, I worked at ASUS for a long time, and so I have connections in ASUS and outside, in the industry in general. Pero all I wanted for myself was a 3070, and I can't even get that. You'd think, with all the people that I work with and that I know, pero kahit siya, hirap na hirap. And he's been working there for a long time. Parang ganun. It's really crazy to find it at a decent price. Close to recommended.
The thing is, people are willing to pay for it. I mean, it's just that it's not in stock anymore.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Especially the exact model you have, the tough models of the 3070 and 3080.
Yep.
You can't find those in stock because they're one of the best models.
I haven't seen it in the wild. They lent it to me, so I reviewed it. We did a video, but I have never seen it. We've never gotten it in the store. I've never seen it in other stores also. I've never seen it in the wild. That's why I'm a little surprised nga they've let me hang on to it. Although every time naman I talk with them, I'm like, I'm really enjoying the 3080. They're like, okay, that's good. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks guys. Thanks.
Chat, don't tell them. Chat, don't tell them. No snitches. No snitches.
Atin lang. And then I put the box in the back, parang moko. Pero it's a really the top 3080. It's a pretty good. I mean, all bias aside, it's a really good card. To go back to the repair field, I actually did remember we had somebody just very recently ask me this question, and I'm like, to be honest, I don't know. I don't really do a lot of repairs. But we're gonna interview somebody soon who that's really his main thing, and I'm gonna ask him. So the guy on Facebook was like, please. So the question is, let's say the DIMM slot of the motherboard is fried. I don't know if there was a power surge or lightning or something. But basically, nasunog daw. Parang the term was nasunog. Is that still repairable?
Yeah. I think that would depend on the board damage because you'll have to look at the board and the traces on the board. Like I don't do board repair personally, but from my knowledge of how the boards work, if nasunog, that means a fuse or a capacitor was blown in that area. So you'll have to check. And most of the time, what I noticed with like unusable DIMM slots, it's based on the CPU. Like your
Yeah.
CPU has some faulty pins where it doesn't read the, let's say, second or third DIMM slot for some reason. Like I've had cases of those, but like a DIMM slot where it just burned out because of a power surge, I haven't encountered that. So I guess it's really case to case basis with repair. Like
It's hard to
uh,
generalize.
it's hard to generalize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've never had a problem with the actual board, but like the RAM, parang I was talking with some other tech guys, and I was like, parang every PC guy, if they've been in the industry long enough, or they've been in the hobby long enough, parang they each have their go-to part na palaging nasisira on them. For me, it's the RAM. For my brother, it's a PSU. For some other people, it's a graphics card or something. But ako personally, I've never come across that nga na nasunog yung DIMM slot.
Yeah.
For me, it's always the RAM mismo na for whatever reason, I don't know, it just they always fail on me. But
The modules, yeah.
Yeah, the modules themselves, yeah, but the Mobo is still good eh. Emil Rojas from YouTube, who is also a loyal customer of Hardware Sugar. If you're watching, sir, we have already added your purchases to the Candy Portal. Sorry, it took us a while because to be honest, it's a manual process, and we need to backtrack the receipts on our end just to make sure we get all of the items. And sorry, to provide context to people, the way our shop runs, every time you buy from us, you get candy points. Kumbaga, those are discount points, and then you just need to log on to our Candy Portal to register your purchases to get your points. And you're not locked in with us. You can use them to redeem for Steam credit and things like that. So we're just trying to say thank you to our customers, and we don't lock you in. Most of our customers are gamers, so we thought it'd be a cool idea na you can redeem the candy points for Steam credit. But anyway, Emil asks, have you serviced a PC or electronic components that supposedly sustained damage from electrical surge during a thunderstorm? Are surge protectors that effective to prevent something like that?
Yeah. Actually, that happened to me personally twice.
Oh, okay.
On both of my parents' office computers and on my personal computer. So it was the same time, same electrical surge. My PC was, sadly, both of the PCs weren't connected to AVRs.
Okay.
Because I think that an AVR should be good enough most of the time because it does have a fuse. So if ever something does happen, the fuse will trip and it won't damage the rest of the components. It will just shut your PC down. But those components, they were fried. Like usually, the saying that when there's a power supply damage, it takes one of the components with it.
Yeah.
That's true. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
It just in my case, it took the motherboard for one PC, and the other one, I think it was a hard drive.
Sorry, this was a lightning strike or a power surge?
I think it was more of like, I just know that there was like an electricity surge. I'm not sure if it was caused by a lightning strike or it just it tripped our power supplies. And that was not a good experience because you have to bring in the computers to a shop and they'll ask what happened. You bring in two computers but that was before when we weren't really repairing.
When you weren't,
Yeah, and we didn't have AVRs on our computers yet, so I think an AVR would do just fine. But if you're really scared, you can get your UPSs, all of that stuff. Especially if you're handling sensitive work, like you're a video editor, content editor, graphics designer. You're on your PC all the time. It's good to invest into a UPS to make sure you don't lose any data.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the story na actually, I thought if I were your parents, I'd be super happy na my son repairs computers. He can sa kanya na yan. He can compare. He can do all of that. But that was before you set up Fixee and then ano.
Yeah. Actually, that's the common thinking with a lot of parents who have children that are engineers.
Yeah.
They think you can fix everything.
Yeah.
That's not the case all the time, but it's usually like this. Like, it's like, Anton, fix this.
Yeah.
Anton, our door is broken,
Yeah,
fix
yeah.
it, or something like that.
Uy, anak, yung doorbell, pag may nagdo-doorbell, di na tumitimbre.
Yeah,
Pakitignan naman. Ano,
yeah. That's actually funny because like our doorbell gave out
That's
during the middle of
pandemic,
the
the
pandemic. So
lockdowns,
especially when all the couriers and
deliveries.
deliveries come
Yeah,
in, it's so
yeah,
important to have a doorbell.
yeah,
So what we
yeah.
did was, since we didn't want to get an electronic doorbell that would die because it rains or whatever,
Mm.
we just got a big bell
Ah.
that you ring, and then people.
Sometimes that's the best solution. The go back to analog, kumbaga, di ba? Di mo kailangan
Yeah,
electrical,
yeah.
digital. Yeah, just get like a
Yeah,
loud.
just get the.
Yeah, the simplest analog solution, and di ba? But usually that works just fine for a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Sige. I'm just trying to mentally think. If I think Addict is asking, do you guys do smartphone repairs also?
Well, yes, we do, but it's very limited at the moment because our technician can only handle a certain range of phones. So it's again case to case basis. We're still trying to develop a system for that, but in the future we hope to repair all these kinds of phones and tablets.
Okay.
It's mostly just fixing our repair process to make sure that we're confident enough to release it to the public, rather than jumping the gun and saying, "Oh yes, we repair all phones."
Yeah.
But we really just learning by doing, which is kind of not what we want to be. We want to be professional, that we've
Yeah.
experienced this. Yeah.
Yeah, kumbaga maintain the quality so that
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes, of course.
the trust that you're trying to build in your customer base.
Yeah.
Gentleman Parrot from YouTube asks, speaking of GPUs, how come the 2000 series, especially the 2060, are not recommendable? To be honest, like, I would recommend. I think it's like a context thing. Before, when the 2000 series was obviously superior to the 1000 series, then I would recommend it. But now, kasi price point wise, technically you should be able to find like a 3070, which is vastly superior to the 2060 for around price parity. But that's in the ideal platonic world. In the real world, the prices are much different.
Yeah.
So actually, I haven't come across naman anybody saying don't get a 2060. I think it really depends on your budget, what you can find out there.
Yeah.
And the people we've sold 2060s to, 2060 Supers, the 2000 series in general, we haven't really heard any complaints. Although I do have a customer coming in who bought a 2080 Super or a TI from us, and then now he's upgrading to a 3080 tomorrow. And he did have problems with the card, but they were driver issues, not really the hardware itself. So I think pound for pound, the 2000 series is still quite good, especially if you can find them for a decent price. We just sold out actually.
Yeah.
We got one in stock. Just recent, like over the week, we had one 2060 na Galax na white, and it sold out like wala pang 1 week. So a lot of people I think are still looking for them. Just to answer the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, because even with us, like people ask for PC recommendations,
Yeah.
and especially graphics cards recommendations. So it's really, as you mentioned, it's budget dependent. So especially when it comes to tech recommendations or anything in general in that field, it all boils down to what to use it for,
Yeah.
right? Like, because you'd be happy if you're just playing 1080p. I'm playing League of Legends, Apex Legends, or Valorant. Yeah, 2060 is great for that. 2060 Super.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get all that horsepower for 1440p gaming, 4K gaming,
Yeah.
then a 2060 wouldn't be so great.
Yeah.
And well, personally, I wouldn't go for a 2060 at that price point because you can find so many good second-hand 2070s for a brand new 2060.
Yeah.
So if you have the option to go used and you're somewhat knowledgeable on computer parts, you'd prefer to go used.
Actually, this is advice now I routinely give. People ask and I say na, and it's weird because we're a PC store and you'd think we would be pushing brand new stuff, but I'm always very upfront with people that I like using secondhand stuff. My graphics cards that I use in my own rig, not the 3080, but the not the ASUS, but the Crossfire RX 470 secondhand yun. My tablet secondhand, Kindle secondhand. So I'm a big believer in secondhand. Because you can find good performing parts at a good price. Yun nga lang, you have to be it's like you're playing poker. I mean, yun nga, there's a certain element of risk and you need to minimize the risk, but you can't minimize it completely kasi second hand nga talaga yan. But even buying a brand new part, there is a risk inherent, a small risk kasi brand new, reputable brand, but there still is a risk. More so pa with a second hand card because you really don't know how they were treated, were they used for mining, nabasa ba yan, parang ganyan. It looks good when you look at it physically, but when you stick it into a computer and run it for an hour, biglang, may diferensya na. So, second hand, I'm a big believer in second hand. And I think, we were talking about it off stream na I want to grow that part of Hardware Sugar na we start accepting second hand items, which we've already started doing slowly. And yun, also because I think it's a great solution to people who want performance but don't really have the budget for the bleeding edge na I mean, di ba, parang sana all nga talaga na may 70,000 to plop down on a 3080 or something like that, di ba? I mean, but even I find that crazy that those are ridiculous prices. Di ko kaya what our customers are spending for their rigs. We had a customer just now, it's still in the shop, she hasn't picked it up yet, but it's like 150,000 peso computer, and I'm like, my God, I mean, I love it that you're getting this from us, but like personally, I don't have that kind of cash to toss at my rig.
Yeah, I think people like us, like enthusiasts, I'd consider both of us enthusiasts. We know what we need, like the kind of PC that we need, and we know how much we're willing to spend on it. Like because me, I'm running a 3-4-year-old computer, also like Ryzen 7 first gen. A second-hand 1080 that I got recently because the price went down so much. That's the only time I'd be able to upgrade. But more than that, I don't think I'll need it. Like, if ever, maybe more RAM, more storage. But those are minimal upgrades. So I think that's the beauty of the space. It's like the longer you're in it, the more you realize, I know what I need. Instead of when you start, you're just like, oh yeah, drop the most cash to get the best performance computer.
I keep hearing about this RTX 3090 and I need to get that because it's the top of the line. Parang ganun. And there's a certain satisfaction di ba? Na parang yun nga, you know your use case, you know what you need, and then just tailoring the part that you get for the budget that you have, and parang parang swak na swak, kumbaga, angkop siya dun sa kailangan mo. Ako personally nga, I don't like getting well, yun nga, I like getting second hand when I can, but I also don't need to get like super like the trendiest thing. It's more like what I want or like what I think looks good, even just on aesthetics, like for the case or something like that. So medyo parang tailor it talaga to what you, kasi personal computer, diba? So parang how you like it, how you want it.
It's like your car or something. Like you get it the way you like it. It's another piece of hardware that we use in our daily lives that we can tailor to what we want.
Rafael from YouTube says na no joke, he recently saw a 1080 Ti selling for 40,000.
Wait, what? 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 Oh my God.
Even at that, you can get like a 3070 na, or like a 3060 Ti depending on the store and the brand. Siguro naman brand new yung 1080 Ti. Baka naman.
Grab it, 40,000, 1080 Ti.
But why?
But why?
Baka naman Hall of Fame edition yan or something. I don't know.
Limited, 1 out of 100 pieces.
Signed by who's the guy who did by Kojomi? Hideo, the guy who did the Metal Gear guy. What's his name? Hideo Kojomi, I think, or something. Or anyway, parang,
his name. But I know who you're talking about.
Parang signed by him or signed by somebody. I don't know. Pero crazy. Eros says he has an RTX 3070. Good for you. Enjoy it. A lot of people are still trying to get that part. And ITX Addict says Founders Edition for sure, yung 1080 Ti. Maybe. I'm not sure if they came out with an FE for the 1080 Ti, but could be.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think they did. That's when they started coming up Yeah,
That
with the
was
Founders Edition.
that was
The
like the
10
first
series, yeah.
line
Yeah, first line of Founders Edition.
na may FE
Yeah.
ano. Okay.
Yeah.
Um like projecting maybe like 2-3 years down the line, what kind of um like business angle or what thing are you not doing now in Fixee that you would want to be doing, or like you would want to add to the services to the Fixee in like 3 years or so?
Well, right now we're talking about developing our platform, obviously, so it's easier for people to avail of repairs. We want it to be quick and easy, and again, trustworthy and professional. So we're trying our best to fix our systems, try to fix our website, so like when you book a repair, it's not so hassle. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
At the same time, we'd want to service more areas because right now our areas are limited. So we want to be able to cater to the more people all over Metro Manila, maybe even the Philippines.
Where are the service areas now currently?
Right now we do service. We try to say we service the entire Metro Manila
Metro
because
Manila.
it can be serviced by Lala Move or Grab, but that turns off some people because again sometimes
Yeah.
courier fees are very expensive,
Yeah, don't trust
and
the courier.
they don't trust the courier. So we'd want to do possibly community pickups. For example, we go to an area certain days of the week where we pick up a device, then we service it for the week, then return it the week after. But sometimes it's a bit too long for some people. So we'll see. Hopefully, in the next 3 years, we'll be able to develop a system that we're able to offer to other people that we can say it's efficient and
Yeah, yeah.
quality.
Worst customer experience. Because we have a lot, and I don't know if you follow our Facebook, but sometimes I post about not so nice customer experiences because it really irritates me personally. Because our motto is cool parts to cool people. So really, like if you parang like you want us to suck up to you or you're not listening to us and things like that, I'm really very adamant that please just take your business elsewhere. So I push back a little against unreasonable customer behavior. I can imagine even more so with you guys kasi medyo demanding yung, bakit hindi naayos? Or bakit, naayos tapos nasira? So any anecdotes na you'd like to share na worst customer, things that come to mind like, oh my God, I hope he never comes back, or, sana di na pumunta.
So far, we haven't had someone that was terrible that I don't want to come back at all. But it's mostly the repair.
It's legit,
No, because I mean, even if it was a bad repair experience, we'd still want them to come back because we want to learn from our mistakes or whatever. I don't think we've had a problem with our customers per se, like where you're saying that you wouldn't want them to do business with you because they were so demanding, or luckily we haven't experienced that. But I mean, you'll never know. But on our part,
yeah.
we've made a fair share of mistakes in repair, and obviously, like what you guys do with your warranty service, where you just replace the part outright or refund if the part is proven to be defective. That's same goes for us, where if we mess up a repair and it costs a certain amount, or I'd like to say the worst one was we broke a brand new MacBook, I think. Like
What
that was
happened?
probably the we were fixing it, and then one of the screws when we were fixing it
Yeah.
slipped and went onto the
Damn,
motherboard.
On the board. Okay. So
Yeah, on the board.
It
So
shorted.
and this is the last piece of screw that you put in with
God-
MacBooks.
God
So it was the
damn.
last
Oh,
one you have to screw in
Yeah.
before you put the
Damn.
back panel, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be good to go.
So 99%,
But this one-
99% there na. Like, isang ano na lang.
Yeah, I'd say 99.9 because the screw was already halfway in or something.
Damn.
Then it flung out,
Yeah.
and then you see sparks.
Oh God.
The PC was dead.
Yeah.
The laptop was dead, so we just replaced the laptop outright.
Ah.
I mean, a brand new laptop.
Yeah.
We even upgraded them for
Fair.
because it was 100% our fault, and luckily that our policy is before you bring something to us, please back up your data,
Yeah.
because we are not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You'll never know. So at least there we were able to upgrade their MacBook from a 2017 MacBook Pro to a new MacBook M1 chip, the recent
Wow. Okay,
ones.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
So it
ah,
was even before it was released in the Philippines. We were able to find someone to bring it in,
wow.
and
Good for you
we just
guys.
tried our best to make sure that our our clients are happy,
Yeah, yeah.
because we try to offer the best service that we can, but at the same time, if we do mess up, we want to make it back, make it up to our customers in
You
that
you
in
you
that
own
way.
you own up to it, and you'll yeah,
Yeah,
you'll make the
yeah,
customer whole
because
again.
yeah. So I mean, it's bad on our end, but at the same time, it's a learning experience.
Yes, yes,
As
yeah.
they say, charge to experience. That's very big charge to experience, but at
Yeah.
the same time, we learned from it. Now
Yeah.
we have safety precautions
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing all this.
yeah. I know. Sorry, it's kind of mean for me to keep laughing, but I just keep the God. Parang nandun ka na eh, di ba? Parang yun na lang
Yeah,
yun.
it's
I
almost
mean,
done.
yeah,
Last screw.
right there. And then, parang you really
Yeah,
can't let your guard down, no? I mean, until everything is
yeah,
put back in place and the cover is on or things like
yeah.
that. I mean, it's really. I think that's why also we don't. We get a lot of people asking like, can I bring my laptop in? Then you'll install the SSD or the RAM, and we always tell them na. We don't monkey around with laptops because it's like a different animal talaga. I mean, we're very good with
Yeah,
desktops, but yung laptops, yeah, things like that. I mean, in a desktop, even if you drop the screw on the Mobo, it's unlikely that it would, short out. I mean, it's possible, but
yeah,
it would be unlikely na auto, like talagang, the whole thing will just, basically
yeah,
explode on you. So that's why we don't do laptops kasi nga,
yeah,
it's more specialized and
yeah.
yeah, that's really. I mean
It,
that. Yeah.
especially MacBooks.
Uh,
Every year Apple finds a way to make it impossible to repair
yeah.
their laptops. It's like each year they come out with something. It gets harder and harder to
Harder, yeah.
repair.
And
Yeah,
it's like this year you think they can't possibly do something else to make it harder. Then they top themselves next year na pucha mas mahirap pa pala. They were able to
yeah.
find
No,
one way to
actually, this year I'm not sure what you can do to repair the
the,
laptops anymore.
the latest the M1 with the
The
M1
latest
chips.
M1, because it's new architecture, so
Yeah.
the chips are different. It's I haven't studied the sheet yet,
Yeah.
the motherboard sheet, to see if like anything is replaceable, but I I don't think that it's possible to repair anymore, because like you think the 2019, 2017, those models were impossible to repair, but now it's just like, oh my,
Ito
I
talaga.
yeah, once it breaks, just
Yun na yun.
yeah,
which,
that's it.
which is what Apple wants, diba? I mean, they've been,
Yeah,
for decades, they've been their iPhones, their tablets, their laptops. They're really designed in that way na they get horrible repair scores because they don't want people monkeying around. They just want people to buy a
yeah,
replacement instead of getting the old one repaired. As ITX Addict pointed out, more glue. Diba? Infamous din yung Apple na daming glue, diba? Basically, everything is just kind of stuck
yeah,
and smooshed together, and then once you pry it
yeah,
open, hirap na to get it back together.
yeah. It's all adhesive and
Yeah.
all of that.
Do you watch? Do you follow Louis Grossman on
Yeah,
YouTube?
it was Rossman. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Rossman,
repair
sorry.
guy in New York. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So he's super. Yeah, he's like parang he's a very visible figure na anti-Apple na yun nga parang sadya na they don't make it easy to repair, or they make it
yeah,
impossible to repair. And actually, I like watching him because he's always pissed off all the time. Parang he seems always ticked off na, yeah, God damn it, why is this thing like this? Parang ganon. So
yeah,
parang he's entertaining to watch. But he's also very technical, di ba? Parang some streams it's just yung top-down camera
yeah,
niya, then you can see the board that he's
yeah,
working on with the solder
yeah,
and things like that. So very
yeah.
very interesting then.
From what I heard, actually, like the schematics he gets are like hard to find. Like you cannot find those schematics anywhere.
Ah,
Like people are saying that they're speculating that he gets them off the black market, because
yeah, yeah.
it's that hard to find
They,
the
they're kind of contraband. They're kind of like
yeah,
they're,
because Apple doesn't want you to see the
yeah,
schematics of their stuff,
yeah, yeah.
but obviously some factory worker leaks it and all
Yeah,
of that stuff.
and it makes its way into his hands na
Yeah,
yeah, wild.
but he's probably one of the best celebrities I
Mm.
know that are in this field,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the whole repair field.
So there are well-known. I'm not too well versed because like Louis Rossman is the only one I know. Um, there are other kind of celebrity repair people on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, there are a lot. actually, quite a
Ah.
few. Like one of the people we look up to is like Tronics Fix It. And then there's also I think Hugh Jeffries. He's also very big into repair.
Ah.
These people are like mobile console repair people, and they do such a great job of documenting the whole repair process, which is it's a skill in itself because
Yeah.
repairing you usually want to be focused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even I'm pretty sure you guys encountered this like before you started getting your footing when you're building a PC, when you're filming it, parang
Yeah.
okay, how do we go about it?
Yeah. Super.
But yeah, these guys just like uh topped it, and they're able to document it so it's easy to follow, easy to watch, and it's entertaining also.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, just on that point na, you know, a lot of people make it look easy on YouTube, building PC or repairing, but actually, even just the act of doing the video, it's very difficult from a logistics and technical
Yeah.
point of view. Like, how do you peer? Like, you see the guy's hands, but how do you get the camera? And especially if you're alone, like if you're doing it by yourself, ang hirap to
Yeah.
get the proper shot, the proper angle, and things like that. Just it's not easily appreciated when you're watching the video. Just think, madali lang yan. You know, you just got a camera there, and then the lighting and whatnot. But actually, it's quite difficult to show the proper angle, to show like how to cut it na malinaw to the audience na I did this
Yeah.
first and then did this, but I
Yeah.
didn't do this because that would block this. Parang ganyan. Hirap. Rafael
Yeah.
from YouTube asks, what tool set do you use or recommend? I currently have a Xiaomi set, and he kind of wants to do more tinkering to his laptop, reapply thermal paste, add modules to or add modules to his Raspberry Pi. Sorry.
Actually,
Sorry, I'm just gonna interject na Ashay Rafael works for us, and I hope the laptop that he's monkeying around with isn't the office laptop that we gave him. Pero sige, go lang. I'm concerned now, pero sige. If you
yeah, but actually the tool set that I have is the one that I've been using for the longest time is what I got from like the 100 peso store actually.
wow,
I mean,
talaga?
yeah, we just have some specialized tools for Apple specific products, but if you're talking about laptops and Raspberry Pis, those are the cheap ones are obviously the 100 peso ones, but we kind of want to Fixee mismo is in talks in developing our own sort of iFixit like kit.
Wow, nice.
So
nice.
that's one thing, like from one repair person to another. If you want to get a Filipino made kit that's similar to the quality of iFixit
Nice.
with the complete tools, we'll be sure to post about it along with our paste. You know, this is the Fixee line of products that we want to offer to
Sounds good. Yeah. Yung
Yeah.
maganda kasi sa iFixit, it's all there na, di ba? I mean, when you buy it, you're assured that this is basically what I
Yeah.
need to do the repair.
Yeah.
So, wow. Very.
Yeah, that's we're still in works with developing it because most of the suppliers I've noticed it's hard to find good quality tools because sometimes the screwdriver we've encountered screwdriver bits snapping.
Yeah.
We want to find the right supplier before we actually give it out to people under under the brand, under the name. So yeah, we're excited for that actually, very excited.
Yeah, sounds good. The thing like with the screwdriver, we've experienced it before. Like we use a screwdriver and it doesn't turn the screw, but it wrecks it. Like kumbaga sa loob, nawawala yung indentation, so you can't turn it anymore. It destroys the groove of the screw.
Yeah,
so,
it threads it. It threads it.
Yeah,
like,
it threads it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and it's called screw stripping. My bad. Screw stripping. That's what
that's
the term that's used.
Yeah.
Yeah. What usually happens there is that the screwdriver you're using is not the right size
for the screw. Yeah.
So you really have to make sure that okay, I'm using the right size. That happened to us numerous times where we stripped countless screws. So we know now before we proceed with anything, we make sure that okay, this is turn. If it doesn't turn all the way or like it slips once, we stop. We're like, okay, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
What are we doing wrong? So we try a different screwdriver. We don't get to a point where you just keep turning it and then we realize, oh wait, it's a circle now.
Wala na.
Yeah.
How do you get those screws out? Because actually I had to My friend had a similar problem recently on a motherboard, yung M.2 plate,
Oh
the
yeah,
thing they
yeah.
have. Yeah, basically the screw was stripped, so he couldn't get it off with the screwdriver he had. And then I researched some basic stuff on the internet, but they're not. Parang one was use a screwdriver, but then put parang plastic on top or
Oh
some
yeah,
kind
like
of
the
way to.
rubber
Yeah,
band.
rubber band. Yeah, sorry. Oo. But
We're we're not a fan of those tricks because we've tried them
you've tried them
obviously,
all.
but like but we're the best way to do it is we drill,
Ah,
and
okay,
that's
okay.
yeah, you drill the
But you
so
actually
that you can get it.
you have a drill on hand
Yeah, we have
for
a
ano.
drill that worst case scenario, but that ruins the, let's say, the controller or the
Yeah.
most of the time it's controllers, so it ruins how it looks. I mean, it works fine. It's just that there's like a bigger hole.
Yeah.
But from what I'm aware of, there are different kits that fix that particular problem. Like you can take out a strip screw by screwing in a new screw on top of the screw
Ah.
and then pulling it out.
Ah.
That's what some people do. Yeah.
Ah. Actually, my staff is asking, can you remove strip screws from laptops? Actually, our video editor is asking. Or if you guys can't, or if you can advise on the best way to do it.
It depends on where the screw is. Because if it's connected to kung mounting point lang yan, you can take it out using the drill, right? If it's a mounting point. But if it's connected to the board, that then we'll have to like do some testing and like it's like a medical procedure where you just okay, is it good? Okay, continue.
So slowly, ano, kind of wiggling
Yeah.
it around and ano.
Yeah, trying to find the best thing.
Okay. So it sounds kind of simple, diba? There's a screw and you need to remove the screw. But actually, I mean, based on what you've told us, it can
Yeah.
become a big problem or ano.
Yeah.
It's a big headache how
Yeah.
to get out the screw out.
Yeah, to all the viewers, strip screws are no joke. Do not strip your screws. Do not strip your screws.
Hindi simpleng bagay yan na, oh yeah, we can,
Yeah.
it's easy to get rid of that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's why a quality tool set is important.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
need to be able to not strip your screws.
Okay. Actually, I can go back now to my friend and basically blame him na, kasalanan mo yun, ginamit mo yung screwdriver, hindi pala yan na tamang size eh.
Yeah.
Well, hindi pinilit
Yeah.
mo kasi eh.
Yeah, some people it's the only screwdriver they have.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
they try
yeah.
their best. Like okay, it should work.
Yeah. Na,
But
it's
not
a
all the time.
screwdriver, it's a screw, one fits in the other, and okay na yan, di ba? Para
Yeah.
dapat gagana.
Yeah.
But then it leads to more serious problems like a strip screw.
Mm-hmm.
Sige. Actually, I basically gone through sort of all of the questions I had. I'm trying to just think now, like, so, like, you want to do the PS5 and no bad customer experiences. Wow, buti pa kayo ah. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too demanding of the customers.
I think it's different with retail because you're just buying something. It's not really repair kind of where you talk to the person about what they need, all of that. Retail, it's more of they buy a product and it's there.
That's true, but for custom rigs, we always one of our first questions is always what are you gonna use it for, video editing
Yeah.
or things like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
But some guys are just Anyway, long time viewers know that I frequently complain about this topic, so no need to revisit it now. Actually, I did have one question. What was the most modded item that you've received? Like the most customized thing that you ever got for repair, and what was it, and how was it modded? If anything, like one that stands out.
What do you mean by modded? Like
Pwede chassis, like pwede exterior, pwede din sa loob na yung GPU linagay nung custom backplate for cooling. I don't know, some wild thing like that. Or like a completely customized rig na yung parang ano talaga, like they drill holes in the case to so that they can mod it fully.
Okay.
Any ones that come to mind na parang wow, this is like a work of art, or ang galing nito from a technical point of view, and it's an honor to get to work on this.
Not really. We haven't had super modded computers come in. They're always the typical off the shelf parts where they just get an AIO, no custom water cooling or anything, because usually those people they don't they don't go to they don't go to repair services if something happens, because of the fact
Yeah.
that they built that whole thing.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's, but we've received I would like to say uh tacky tacky computers, because the Lazada chassis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The ones that look like they're slanted, that look kind of angry,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
don't have any like panels that are not even connected, and it's just all RGB.
Yeah.
Pero
Yeah.
yung nasa loob, like a really old i5, like
Yeah.
i5 first gen.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
received one of those. And when I got it, I was like, okay, this is the first time. And when you turn it on, it just gets worse because the RGB just
Just
pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. I mean, we had to fix it, but at the same time, it's
It wasn't.
uh,
Yeah, you
it wasn't
wouldn't.
nice to look at.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, each person's rig is their own. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so obviously he had some sort of reason he did that to his rig. So
Yeah.
we respect that in that regard. Like,
Yeah.
we personally don't like it, but if he loves it, that's great.
And that's his computer, di ba? Personal taste. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Ano, yeah. Yeah. Actually, we do get we get a lot of RGB haters. We get a lot of RGB lovers, and our stance is always we don't care. You tell us what you
Yeah.
want, and that's what we'll do because it's your PC.
Yeah.
We're truly RGB agnostic. I mean, of course, I have my personal opinions on RGB, but you're the customer of the
Yeah.
shop, and it's really up to you, like how you want the rig. If you want a stealth build, if you want
Yeah.
rainbow puke, I mean, kasi yun nga, you're spending for it. You're yung ko lang dun sa mga Lazada builds. It's as you mentioned, they try to get you on the aesthetics. I mean, we're not a
Yeah.
fan of that particular aesthetic, but when you go inside, yun nga, it's like generic PSU, yung mga
Yeah.
rated, and then so sana man lang at least decent specs inside kasi yeah, diba? I mean, if you're in the market for that kind of thing, you've probably saved up for that, like 25,000,
Yeah.
30K, malaki, that's a big amount. And
Mhm.
sayang sana, well, if the seller were more scrupulous, the innards or the parts would be better performing. I mean, hindi lang nadala sa
Yeah.
they know kasi na mabenta, yeah, just stick 10 RGB fans on the side or whatever, and then, they
Yeah,
don't
call
even
it a
sing.
day.
Yeah, they don't even sing. It's just like a disco ball, and then, just call it a day, mabenta na yan. But parang, and I think that's what's true about both Hardware Sugar and Fixee, na parang we take pride in our work, whether it's assembling
Yeah.
a PC or repairing it, na parang, at the end of the day, we know this is going to somebody, and we want it to go to a good home, and it'll serve that person for a long time. So,
Yeah,
pride,
definitely.
pride in the work, pride in our recommendations, what we do. We don't
Yeah.
take it lightly na, ay, okay na yan. Parang, basta, siksik ka lang nung isa pang RAM stick dyan, pwede na yan. Parang call it a day.
Yeah.
So,
Like, we try to recommend the best that we can for our clients, and I think that's one thing I like about Hardware Sugar, is because they shall share the same values in that regard with Fixie, that we have to treat their customers with like the best that we can and give them the
Yeah.
best recommendation that we can.
yeah. Although,
Yeah.
I guess,
Sometimes, yeah. Minsan, yeah.
No, yeah. Nag-flashback ulit ako sa mga customers na. But anyway. Yeah, but in general, we try to be, always naman, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best na,
Yeah.
Rafael, Rocky the Programmer, actually, Rocky the Programmer appears on the show that I mentioned, yung pwede magtanong. He has a last question. My old
Okay.
monitor bugs out when I'm looking at a particular shade of pink. Like it blacks out and goes crazy until you scroll away from that particular color. Have you ever come across
Oh, wow.
that?
No, that's a very interesting problem.
Me also.
Uh,
I've never.
When it comes to monitor repair, also we tend to stay away from it because the panels are so expensive, and most of the time monitor repair is a cracked monitor screen, or it doesn't. Most of the time it's that. So we don't recommend repairing it,
Yeah.
because right now monitors are affordable. So the price you'd spend on repair could have went to a cheaper 1080p monitor, just to use in the meantime,
Yeah.
instead of repairing your current monitor that might break again when you have it repaired.
Yeah. And basically, a lot of the cost of the monitor is basically the panel, di ba? I mean, that's basically what you're paying
Most
for.
of the time it's the panel.
Yeah, the pan. I mean, so if you get a new panel, it's like you're just getting a new monitor anyway.
Yeah.
So Yeah, we've had some returns na dead pixel, but when you take a look, we refund the customer in full, but when you take a look, wala namang dead pixel, parang ganon.
Okay.
Yeah, so not really a concern with the hardware, more like customer. Sometimes we get, because of the parts that we carry, we get a lot of customers that are very meticulous. So they're like, oh, one dead pixel won't do, or things like that, or
Yeah.
and so we're accommodating naman on that. But yeah, it would be. I mean, we don't have repair experience for monitors, but I would imagine it's quite difficult to repair it outside of the. Basically, it's the panel lang talaga usually, like 90% of the problems, diba? Okay. Actually, I do just need to make a shout out because somebody requested, but Rocky the programmer actually says, do you want to maybe get the monitor, and practice repairs with it? It's a 10-year-old Dell. I can donate it for science. but
Oh wow.
I can,
That'd be.
I can connect the two of you guys. Like I can send each of you the details so that you guys can work
Sure.
it out. Talaga,
Perfect.
no?
Thank you, Rocky.
Yeah.
We'll be glad to do it for science. We'll document our process as well.
Post it on YouTube, yeah, para everybody can watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sige, we can work that out
Offline. Yeah.
Yeah. Any last words, like anything you want to plug, or any last thoughts on like this whole how it's been so far, like doing the Fixee experience?
Well, I'd like to say that we're really thankful to all our customers that do avail of our service, because without them, we wouldn't be able to grow in different respects, like on social media, on YouTube. We're super excited to see what 2021 has to offer, especially with new friends in the hardware scene, like Hardware Sugar. We're happy to collaborate and discuss these kinds of things because we share similar interests, and the scope of our work is very, very similar. So we're happy to help each other out. But if any of the viewers want to visit us, check out fixie.ph on Instagram and Facebook. You can also check out our website, fixie.ph. And you can also see us on YouTube on Fixie TV. So subscribe, comment, check out our videos.
Especially that one about the monitor na they're gonna wreck for science.
Yeah, we'll
tear down
for science.
Yeah.
Repairing a monitor for science. That's the title right there.
John Ruben Ocha from YouTube was actually one of our top fans. Thank you very much for joining the YouTube membership. Says na sana Fixie has better service than SST. To be honest, I don't know what SST is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what SST is as well.
If it's a repair service, or I'm not familiar with the brand or the shop.
Okay.
But parang just talking to Rocky, to Anton, parang I think they would probably have better service. Parang I'm convinced. If my 3080 breaks before I give it back to Asus, I'm gonna send it to them to repair. Kasi I can't send it back to Asus na sira. But parang they seem like they have a good service. And I'm sure
I appreciate the confidence, Anton. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Don't let me down, man. I can't send the Asus thing back kung sira. They might not send me new. They might not send me
knock on wood.
Yeah.
3080 to 3080.
Yeah. So I do have a shout out. Somebody from Facebook asked it. So Christopher Bombita Sonyo, shout out, and so he was like, Lodi, sige po, salamat, straight from. Pa-shoutout na lang po. So, shout out Christopher Bombita Sonyo, Facebook inquiry. And our next live stream is Media Diet, where me and a friend talk about like the stuff we've been playing, reading, watching for like the past month or so. We got kind of derailed last time kasi sobrang pangit nung internet. Actually, we had a good conversation, me and my friend, but it wasn't streamed properly. But parang I fixed the problem now by turning off my firewalls, which are promptly going back up after this stream. So please do check us out on next Tuesday, Feb 16, for Media Diet. And for tech questions, you can reach us on our new forum. We're super active there, pm.hardwaresugar.ph. The link is on the header above. And for repairs, please try out Fixee. And like if you bought something from us and it's broken, don't go to us, go to Fixee. No, just kidding. We do have a no BS warranty, but if it's out of warranty, I would suggest trying out Fixee. And Anton and I were talking off stream now. We do have some projects we want to be working on together, and hopefully we can put some stuff together this coming year. So looking forward to that.
Yeah,
as
excited
well.
for that as well. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, thanks for joining us. We're in the industry.
Thanks for having me. I'm very thankful to be here.
Sana next time, like, if we can do a repeat interview with like the team, para we can get like
for sure.
Others.
The other co-founders, I'd like for them to be here and meet you as well. You know, meet your team. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Sana, or like when the pandemic's over, we can like all get together. Yun nga, then we can have like a YouTube thing or something.
For sure. I'm 100% down for that.
Sige. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you to everyone for watching. Stay safe and good night.
Yes.
And